All right, man. Welcome to the motherfucking part 2 of this shit, man. This is the motherfucking breakdown of what y'all need to do, how y'all need to think, and how y'all need to be looking at this program through and through. And y'all need to watch this more than once. I'm always tell y'all need to watch this more than once. Y'all had to watch this a few times for y'all to really get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's information that y'all never heard before. You know what I'm saying? I'm knowing. So y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to take all this shit in. Number one, y'all need to understand that the teaching of all of this is, number one, the teaching of all of this is very in depth. So the only way you're going to be able to take it in is if you really listen. Now, you can hear the information and notice some shit that you don't know, notice some shit you never heard before. That's cool. But y'all need to listen so y'all can fully understand it for yourself. And I'm explaining it to y'all in this of what really listening and understanding information really is. So, number one, teaching, listening. Don't make no assumptions. Don't think that you already know what the fuck I'm talking about. Have a blank state of mind when you listen to this information like you don't know shit. Like you are a baby. Be humble, have humility, and tell yourself that you don't know shit. All this information is new to you. If it's something that you heard of before, still listen, because I might say something a little different. I might mean something a little different. So y'all got to actually follow me all the way through. A lot of guys are going to lose because of this. They're not going to make it through. They're not going to fully understand this shit. They're still going to be beta males because they're not going to listen to the information for what it is. They're going to listen to it for what they think it is. No, try to figure out what I'm saying. If you don't understand fully what I'm saying, ask questions down below because I'm pretty sure there's going to be 50 other motherfuckers trying to figure out the same thing you asking. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to just leave that shit down below and get involved with that. You feel me? Get involved with that. Don't let that shit just fly over your head and tell yourself, well, I guess that's just what it is. No, it's not. Sit the fuck down and take in all that information, dog. Take in that information. It's a lot of information that needs to be learned. So take it in. It's bit by bit. Understand what the words mean. Now, what I mean by that is I can have words that I'm saying, right? And y'all understand what the words that I'm saying. But understand what I'm trying to say to y'all. Understand what I mean. I'm going to explain it well. But it don't matter how well I explain it if y'all aren't trying to understand what I mean. If y'all don't understand the message, go back and listen again. I'm telling y'all, you might feel like you rushing. You might feel like it's okay for you to just hear it in the background, and at least you're going through the program. If you're going through the program and you just hearing the information, you're basically going to waste all of your fucking time. I'm trying to tell y'all right now to save y'all time. Listen to the program. Take your time listening to all of the information. If you take your time, I promise you, you will grow. Little by little, you will see the difference in your life. That's the important thing. It's not about just taking in the information and not fully understanding it to the point where, yeah, you heard it. You can say that you listened to it. Nah, you should be listening to it so it can change your fucking life. You can see the difference that you can change your life. Literally off of what I just said can make a big difference in your fucking life. So take that shit in, man. Take it in. So understand that I'm somebody that's different from saying what people is usually being said. Now, I can say something, right? Like, it's easy for me to make money. And somebody else can say, man, it's easy as a motherfucker to make money. We saying the same thing, but because we're two different people, we mean two different fucking things. If y'all have questions, ask down below. I'm going to go in as in depth as possible, but I never know, what y'all missing. I never know if y'all perspective is not open enough to take all the information in. I don't know. That's a whole bunch of shit I don't know about y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can only take it in as much as I can and give y'all all the information as the same way I would to the people that struggle, or the people that I had to teach this information in real life, or the people who I've taught, or the people that I see online struggling to know some of this information. That's all I can do is talk to y'all that way. But if y'all got questions down below, ask these questions because I don't know y'all. So I'm a whole different person. If y'all understand what I'm saying when I'm saying certain things, ask, please. It'll definitely help you in a big way. So you don't remember that when it's a whole bunch of shit y'all have, yet y'all understand. So I'm gonna need y'all to be humble, okay? Because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. It's a whole bunch of information that y'all understand that y'all are not big dogs, y'all not alphas, y'all not leaders in y'all lives. So it's a whole bunch of shit that y'all don't know. So I'm gonna remind y'all that you don't know how much you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So don't assume that you know shit. And then you're gonna figure out that you don't know. That's the next stage of all this. You figuring out that you don't know a good bit of this information. By you understand that you don't know a good bit of this information, like tying your shoes. It's like a process of tying your shoes. But it's so the third step is like, you know what you didn't know. You have learned new information, right? Now, 50% of learning is knowing information that you didn't know, right? That's where y'all gonna be when you know what you didn't know. You figured out new information. Last but not least, when you know the information so well that you ain't even gotta think about it, you just naturally do it. This is what I need y'all to be at. Y'all need to continuously practice to get to this point. It's not something that just happens overnight. You have to continuously practice to get to this point. Y'all have to. If y'all don't, y'all basically gonna get folded by the world. I'm telling y'all gonna get folded. You have to continuously practice. It cannot be a one-time done thing, okay? Because you have to develop it in your mind. You subconsciously have had so much experiences. That's why there's new information that you learn. It takes time to basically get to the point where it happened automatically because you had so much previous information. Imagine when you first started tying your shoes. When you first seen your shoes untied, they was like, tie your shoestrings. You didn't know what the fuck shoestrings was. You just knew that you had some shit flapping on your feet. You didn't know what shoestrings was. So you went home, you learned from your guardian or your teacher, whoever the person was that taught you, and they taught you how to tie your shoes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they told you to tie your shoes when they seen them flapping. They said, tie your shoes. You know you didn't know. But when they told you to tie your shoes, you figured out that I don't know how to tie my shoes. You figured it out, right? And then somebody taught you over and under, you know what I'm saying? The bunny ears, however you was taught. They taught you how to tie your shoes. Then you start practicing how to tie your shoes. So one day it was like, hey man, your shoes untied. You got down on your knees, you start practicing on how to tie your shoes, you know what I'm saying, over and under. You had to remind yourself on how to use them, on what to do. You had to continuously remind yourself. Then last but not least, you get to a point where you know that you know. Well, now, if you see your shoes untied, you don't even think about it, you just tie them. You know what I'm saying? You just do everything, you just naturally do everything because you already know how to tie your shoes. That's the learning process that y'all need to take y'all have to take y'all time and develop y'all mind. Y'all have to develop y'all mind to take in all this information, to use it and let it become automatic with y'all. It's really a mindset of understanding that it's a journey, it's a process. It's all about growing into the information. The information I'm giving y'all growing into alphas. Y'all growing into leaders. Y'all growing to somebody that people are going to naturally want to follow. But this is across the board of what leaders naturally have. Okay, this is what most leaders naturally have. Okay, so y'all gotta understand, man. This is what y'all gotta do. All right, so I want y'all to understand that this is a teachability thing. Like how easy it is for you to be taught information. Like that's basically what I'm going down with the listening and not making assumptions. You know you don't know, that type of shit. There's so much shit that y'all gotta fully understand, right? So y'all teachability, y'all teachability 0 out of 10. 0, you assuming you know everything already. You're not taking nothing serious. And the 1 is like you ain't taking nothing too serious. You already feel like you know a good bit, and you push. You already feel like you understand a good bit. If it's a 5 out of 10. You kind of lazy through it. You halfway listening. You're not really all the way in. So yeah, you'll understand what I'm saying to a certain degree, but you're only gonna see half of the picture. You're not gonna see the full picture of what I mean because you're not really listening to what I just not said what listening was. You're not listening to that degree of not making no assumptions, understanding the words what I mean, and knowing who it is that's saying all of this shit. You're not really trying to figure all that out while you listening. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to figure that out. So because you're not trying to figure that out, that's basically where you at. You basically just in the sauce with it. You not really, you know, god damn, boy, I hate allergies, bro. You're not necessarily somebody who can be taught. But if you're a 10 out of 10, you're taking your time to try to learn the information. You know, you're trying to learn and experience all 4 levels. You're trying to experience the point, you're trying to get to the point where you know, but you ain't got to think about it. You're trying to go through all 4 levels to get to that point, but you have to take your time. A lot of people feel like because they rushing through this shit and they just taking in and they hear the information, they got it. They hear it one time, they got it. If you ain't trying to understand the words and you're not trying to sit down and think about what I'm saying, dog, you are wasting your fucking time. I'm telling you, you're wasting so much of your time. It took me like a year of having this information before I decided. It took me like 8 months before I decided to just be like, I'm gonna sit down and actually learn this information and know it to the point where I ain't gotta even think about it. I just naturally know it. That's when I saw the difference in my life. So I spent 8 months hearing the information and not really applying it, not really trying to understand it to the fullest of my capabilities. And that's what caused me to not learn the information. Now, we're going to go over understanding later on, but I just want y'all to understand you have to have a high degree of teachability. You know what I'm saying? You have to be that. You have to have humility. You have to be patient. Because, yeah, it took me 8 months, but throughout that 8 months, every time I listened to it, I was walking. I wasn't sitting down trying to really think. I wasn't writing it down, trying to understand what the words mean. I wasn't trying to understand who it was behind the words. I wasn't trying to understand what the overall meaning of what's going on, because I was just trying to hear it and say, wow, I can see how these little gems can help me. Let me go ahead and apply these little gems that I just heard. You don't get what the fuck I'm saying. You don't really get what I'm saying. You basically just using the information to apply it, and once you apply it that one time, you done it. No, apply it to your mind so you ain't got to think about it no more. When you sitting down, it's supposed to be a natural thing. This is a natural game where y'all aren't going to have to think while you're in it. You're just going to be able to move through life, and it's going to apply to you. But I'm through rambling. All right, so you got to be willing to learn, bro. You got to be willing to sit down and learn this information, bro. You have to be able to really write this shit down, man. I'm telling y'all, because when you write it down, it's really going to stick to your mind easier. Be humble. I understand y'all might be like, I don't need to do that. Yes, you do. Do it anyway. Even if you don't think I'm telling you, do it, because it will save you so much time, and it's more of a guarantee if you write it down than if you don't. All right? So, and just constantly aim to understand the knowledge. Now, we about to go over understanding, what it really means to understand the knowledge. But it's really, you want to understand the knowledge to the point that you even when you're thinking about it, you ain't got to think hard about it. You ain't got to decipher things because you understand it already. And understanding, that's why I say you got to watch this over and over again, because once you understand it one time, there's going to be another situation where you can understand it in a deeper way. So you have to keep listening to this information to develop yourself in a way that you are unshakable, because it's going to be all based on how you think, right? So 90% of what you do is based on how you think. How you do it is cool. But like, for instance, how AI crossover like a football player. He jukes. He leans his body, he jukes. He goes way over like he going this way, and he jukes. He does a full, half full, come back over. It's like he playing football. It's like he running as a wide receiver, and he play. It's like he playing football for real. Versus Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving does a little bit of that, but he's kind of working his feet with it. They doing the same thing, but because they thinking a whole different way towards it, it looks different. You know what I'm saying? Because they thinking different. They both doing a crossover, but the way that they're anticipating the crossover is completely different because they thinking different. And the reason why I know that, because I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that Allen Iverson was a football player and Kyrie Irving was playing basketball since he was a kid. So they both were, but y'all get what I'm saying. Allen Iverson was a football player. Kyrie Irving was a football player. So With that being said, y'all got to take that in and understand that your why and the way you think is really how you make your own sauce. I can say, hey, how you doing? My homeboy can be like, hey, how are you doing today? You know what I'm saying? Or, what's good? How are you doing? You look, you look good. I can be like, hey, excuse me, I think you look good. How you doing today? It's a whole different process because we thinking different. It's so much thought going into what I just said, so much experience that I go into what I just said, but it's because I understood my experiences. So in this information, I want y'all to understand that this information I'm giving y'all is a catalyst on the direction y'all are going to use this information. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, it's a catalyst. So while you going in your everyday life, you doing your everyday thing and you look around and it's a catalyst. Y'all are supposed to understand it to a point where y'all don't have to think about it that hard. Y'all naturally know the information. So when y'all looking around, y'all can apply the information to y'all surroundings and y'all mind. Y'all gonna start naturally seeing the environment different, all right? But y'all have to understand it to have y'all own way of looking at it. Even with this information, y'all gonna develop y'all own unique way of looking at it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be somewhat similar, but it's gonna be y'all own unique way because it's just surface level. This is surface level information. Okay, so you can go beneath the surface level information though. Just I had to leave that in there. But nah. So 90% of what you do is the why behind why you're doing it. So I want you to understand the way you're thinking, past, present, future thinking. You have to sit down and think about how you're thinking about the information. So, for example, for people who are cages, y'all don't want to be cages anymore. So y'all probably gonna have to go over validation and ego and being alone. Cages. Y'all got to get used to being alone and living life alone. Right? When y'all go over that information, y'all gonna have to really sit down and think about how you're thinking in the past, how were you thinking in the moment in the past, and how you think in the present moment of how you think it's best for you to exchange that information with that way of thinking. What's your new way of thinking? You know what I'm saying? How do you look at it? Because you have to develop that mind process behind the information that I'm giving y'all. Your thoughts. You gotta have your thoughts. Like when you do that the first time, you can't judge yourself. I want you to just be open. Your thoughts, your second thing, which is the thoughts, write this shit down. That you are thinking about your thoughts. Your way that you usually think in the past, the way you're usually thinking in the present, divide your thoughts on why it is necessary, on why it is key for you to look that way, or what made you think that way, or how do you view that? How do you view yourself when looking at this information? You're going to start naturally doing this shit. I naturally do it now, but I think about my thoughts. But it's like, you should always be doing this shit. You're going to start to develop yourself in a way that you always doing this shit. The feelings. Next. The way you feel is very important. Don't judge the way you feel. Understand the way you feel. And try to understand how the way you feel and how the way you think connects with each other, because you have to change your way of thinking. It has to feel right while you're doing it. If it don't feel right, understand why it don't feel right. Dissect why it don't feel right, and don't go into the next thing until it feels right to think in this new way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Or it feels right, or what you need to do next to develop the new way of feeling. Right? Like sometimes you gotta, if you feel uncomfortable, you gotta go through some shit. If you're feeling uncomfortable, and I got phases for that too. That's way down the line though. Next is your desires. You gotta know what you want from the situations with this information. You gotta know how to use this information to change your situations in your life. You have to know how you want to use this information to change the situation in your life so you can get the desired outcome that you want. Okay, your dreams is how you want to move in your everyday life. And what's the lifestyle that you're aiming for, the purpose behind why you do what you do. And 9 times out of 10, to change the information that y'all need to use, to use the information that y'all are learning and change our mindset, y'all are looking for a dream. Y'all chasing after a dream, right? Depict that dream and understand what does that dream look like. Just understand what it look like, all right? They develop an attitude that understands that you can accomplish that dream. Now, a lot of times you might have negative, limiting thoughts on why you think you can accomplish that. I'm gonna say that for the advanced course, but it's a whole bunch of things that y'all can develop, a whole bunch of books y'all can read to change your attitude towards the way you think. I'm telling y'all, like, you can change your attitudes. But you want to understand your fears and what things that you can be fearful of, that can stop you, that can be limiting you. The same thing, you know what I'm saying? But you basically don't want to, like, not look at that. You know what I'm saying? I want to make it real clear that I want y'all to look at the positive and the negative in y'all attitude. I want y'all to look at the positive and negative in all of this shit, honestly. Your thinking, your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your dreams, the positive and negative of both, of all of this shit. So, last but not least is your objectives. You want to give yourself something to do. Nothing extreme, y'all. Baby steps. Baby steps. If you want to do something extreme, baby step your way to doing something extreme. You know what I'm saying? But don't have nothing extreme as first, because I don't want y'all setting high expectations where if y'all fuck up, y'all gonna lose all y'all momentum. You know what I'm saying? It's important to keep the momentum, because all that matters is that you're going in that direction. If you're going in that direction, you keep going in the right direction, you're going to get to the destination. Promise you. So I want y'all to understand that this side dictates on why you do what you do. So your thinking, your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your dreams, your attitudes, your fears, and the necessary things that you need to do next, aka your objectives. Well, I need y'all to look at the positive and the negative things that come with it, so y'all can develop yourselves and understanding what y'all thinking and how y'all feeling. Y'all basically understanding yourself, so you can develop this information within yourself to live life the way you want to live by applying the information. And you know what you're doing. You know what drives you doing it. That's 90% of what you do, the way you think. Now, the techniques is what you do, what to say, how you say it, and how you do it. All of that shit is shit that I'm going to teach y'all, show y'all. But I need y'all to understand, even when I teach y'all and show y'all, y'all need to apply this shit, because y'all need to have y'all own way of thinking while doing it and saying it, to have like a reason behind doing it. You cannot copycat your way into success of this shit. You cannot. That's why I always tell y'all, take y'all fucking time. If you take your time, this shit, y'all get results way faster than I did, because I'm telling y'all, throughout the whole time, I'm gonna tell y'all the whole time, take your time understanding this shit. All right, so the importance of applying, you gotta apply this shit into every principle, because the more you apply this shit in every principle that you have, the more success you're gonna have in everything. I'm keeping a buck with y'all. Y'all gonna have a high success rate. You feel me? Because you're applying this principle in so many things that it's gonna build you up in so many different ways that before you know it, it's almost like you're gonna have a village in your mind. Like you're gonna have a whole fucking kingdom in your mind of information that can deflect and defend and attack. You're gonna basically have a bunch of fucking arsenals. You're gonna have an arsenal of shit. So to develop that arsenal in your mind and develop that framework around your heart and around your mind, around your body, and spiritually your energy and things of that nature, you gotta develop your own understanding of the information. If you don't, you basically is gonna go in one ear and go out the other, because it's not yours. You know, you gotta make this information yours. A lot of people, they wonder why, like, man, damn, why I gotta keep reading this book 1, 2, 3, 4 times? Because you didn't really try to understand it the first time you read it. So it's a whole bunch of shit that you didn't know, but you didn't even think to apply or to understand enough in a way that it really did connect with you. Like you made it, you have to make this information connect with you. If you don't make it connect with you, it's basically gonna go in one ear and out the other. I know this is going off track, but if any of y'all watch anime, y'all know I watch anime. Watch, I forgot the name of it. We're Gon and Killua. Just Google it and y'all gonna find the shit. Hunter x Hunter, where they basically live their life hunting, and they develop in themselves, you know, to go basically, they hunters. So they basically predators. Okay, so because they predators, because they apex predators and they at the top of the food chain, they basically get everything with ease. They do everything with ease. But the thing about these hunters and they're kids, all right? But the reason why they're so advanced and they're able to not only keep up with the adults, but challenge the adults and defeat some of the adults is because they have a mindset that they can take in information and make it that push the pendulum with what they've been taught. They can make something, they can take something so small and make it great. They can have their own ways of doing it. They got their own techniques and ways of doing it, because that's really what it really means to basically to take in information and be able to use it. You have to make it yours. So that's basically what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with y'all. I'm basically low key teaching y'all how to be alphas, you know what I'm saying? Develop your own shit. So it's important that y'all take y'all time while doing this shit. I already explained that shit many times. So I want y'all to understand that, because there's levels to this shit, right? Like when y'all watch this shit the first time, y'all probably gonna run through it, and that's cool. I don't even mind y'all run through it the first time. But when y'all come back the second time and y'all watch it again, what y'all gonna notice is that the information that I'm showing y'all, that there's levels to the same information. Like, y'all gonna listen to this shit the first time, y'all gonna be like, damn, I learned so much. Y'all gonna listen to the second time, be like, damn, I learned more. Y'all listen to the third time, be like, damn, I get it. Y'all gonna listen to the fourth time, I was like, damn, well, yeah, he right about this, but what about this, that, and this, and that, and this, and I experienced this from that, so that can't be right. Well, he is saying this, though. Y'all gonna basically start understanding it to a point where y'all gonna start really basically either some y'all gonna surpass the information because y'all gonna take it so far. You know, so that's why I say I'm gonna say some of this shit for the advantage, because it's like it's unnecessary for y'all to hear it. But y'all gonna take that shit so far and take it. It's gonna be so complex to the point where it's like y'all gonna have y'all own way of being alphas, but there's levels to it. So even though it might be a challenge for y'all to do it now, it's gonna get to a point where it's so easy that y'all gonna have several ways to do it, because even though it's easy for y'all right now. Like, and that's the point I'm really trying to get y'all to understand, that there's a lot of information and it's so fucking valuable that y'all gonna be able to apply this shit across the fucking board. And it's actually pleasant. I'm gonna be honest, it's real pleasant. So I really want y'all to really take advantage of this information I'm giving y'all fully. So I want y'all to understand that there's two things to this, and the reason why understanding is so key, because there's critical thinking and then there's thoughts, right? And I'm gonna write all this shit down, bro. It's a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? This shit my mentor didn't teach me. I had to figure out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Go figure out for myself. I'm just giving it to y'all. So I want y'all to understand that there's critical thinking and then there's thoughts. You can read a book, right? And you can look at this video and you can have your thoughts about it. But when you critically think about it, you almost make your past thoughts so dumb. You basically make your past self on who you were yesterday feel so dumb that you have no choice but to apply the information. And this is why I want y'all to really understand all this information, because y'all basically gonna start critically thinking nonstop. The more you critically think, the more you grow. The more you dissect and understand how to apply the information that I'm giving y'all, the easier it's going to be for y'all the easier y'all going to have success with being an alpha. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of information that y'all have to apply. But if y'all just think about it one time and y'all have y'all thoughts on it and y'all cool and y'all just go apply it, you know, you might have some success. But if you critically think about it, it's guaranteed that you will have some success. I'm just telling y'all from real life experience that y'all guaranteed to have fucking success from this shit. I'm just telling y'all for real, like, y'all are guaranteed. There's so much information in this shit that if you don't apply it, it's almost like it's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really on you if you don't critically think. So I want y'all to understand that there's levels to critically thinking. All right, so you got to build up you're going to have basically, when you get so used to critically thinking, the wavelet that you got to sit down and meditate on and like really think about and really dissect with your understanding, number one, you're going to naturally start understanding things. You're going to start thinking on it without even having to remind yourself of thinking, thoughts, feelings, desires, dreams, attitudes, fears, objectives. You're not going to have to like tell yourself that. you're going to just start doing it. And when you just naturally start doing it, what you're going to start to find out is that you're getting to the knowledge faster. Like, I can watch a video and I can sit there and think about it for like 10 minutes. And I can basically understand all the shit that I just heard to the point where I'm ready. I'm more than ready to apply it. I'm more than ready to apply it. It's not even to the point where I kind of want to apply it. I'm more than ready to apply it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here thinking about a time I literally just did it yesterday where I was just sitting there and I was like, I didn't even think about it while I was doing it. I was just doing it. And that's the point where I'm getting at, y'all, because y'all going to find out there's different ways of thinking. There's different ways of thoughts, of understanding your own thoughts. There's different ways, there's different feelings once you understand the different ways that's advanced shit. There's different feelings and different ways to understand your feelings and different feelings to connect with people, different feelings to connect with information, it's ways to look at feelings. There's ways to look at how you desire things. There's different ways to look at your dreams. There's different ways to apply your attitudes and your own self-beliefs to change your attitude. There's different ways to face your fears. We're going to go over that in the basics, in the regular shit. Different ways to face your fears and different ways to identify the objectives. You're going to not only naturally do it, but you're going to do it in a way that you're ready to do it. Right now, you might have to sit down. You might have to think about it for days. You might have to think about the information. You'll get to a point where you're going to learn the information. You're going to get the information so damn quick that you're going to apply it. You're going to be able to apply this shit fast. It's not going to take you time to apply the information because your level of critical thinking is so fucking elite that you are basically going to develop. You basically going to be thinking 10 times more than anybody else with 10 times less effort because you have built up your mind to basically be a critical thinker. So that's all you being teachable. I promise you, like, it's all that comes with being teachable. From learning this information, I'm telling y'all, just imagine. Be honest with y'all, that information alone is gonna change our life. And we didn't even get to the principles yet. All the information that I just taught y'all so far it's enough to change your life. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And now we have not got to the actual principles of relationships, of respect. We ain't get to none of those principles yet. And look how much information that y'all learn that's probably will change our life forever. This is what I'm really trying to get y'all to understand, man, that it's a lot that come with this shit. It's a lot that come with this shit that the world does not teach you. The world does not want you to know this kind of shit. But we're going to keep continuing on, which is the coachability. All right? So a 0 on the coachability is more so like you saying it's 0 out of 10 we doing. So 0 is like, you'll do it later. If you got information and you're supposed to go over this information that I'm teaching y'all watching a quarter of the video, y'all like, when I'm watching this shit later, then y'all go watch a movie, y'all go out. Y'all bullshitting. It's a 0. Y'all don't really want this. You know what I'm saying? Non-believers, the people who take this information, they brought it, they listened to a little bit of it, they probably turned it back in, or, they got it, but they ain't really watching it for real. They just kind of watching it every once in a while, whatever. And the non-believers are some people who they taking this information, but they quick to go find another way to apply it instead of taking the information for what it is and how I have it. All that shit is a 0. All right, as a 1, we're gonna say as a 1. 5 is like you half-ass your way through everything. If you watching this information, you kind of listening while you doing something else, you half-assing. Take away, or if you working out, okay, I get it. But whenever you actually sit your ass down and try to understand this information and writing it down, that's when you're not half-assing. Outside of that, bro, I promise you if you're working out, you listening to it, it's going in one, unless you pausing it the whole fucking time, it's going in one ear and out the other. You might think like, oh yeah, I got it, man. I knew what I'm doing, man. I got this. No, if you ain't pausing it to think about all the information I'm giving you, you half-ass. It's half-ass. All right. So 10, you know what you want and you're willing to do anything to get it. That's when you are at a 10. When you feel like you will do anything to get it. When you feel like you are ready to turn off that movie. When you feel like you are not going to go out on that date. When you feel like you're not going to go out with your friends because you want to study this information. Know this information. That's when you are a 10 out of 10 coachability. Because you're willing to do whatever it takes to get this information. I'm telling y'all, this is when you are a motherfucking done, bro. This is when you are This is when you are going to learn. When you got both of them at a 10. Your teachability at a 10. and your coachability out of 10, bro, your learning rate is gonna be so fucking high. It's honestly gonna be kind of scary. Cause you're gonna learn this shit so quick. It's gonna be work, but it's gonna get to a point where it's not gonna be work no more. That's why I'm telling y'all, low key, y'all redeveloping y'all whole frame of mind. Y'all whole frame of mind gotta change. The way you think has to change. Y'all thought I was gonna give y'all information and y'all was gonna be good. Y'all gonna know what to do now. No. I'm getting y'all to the point where y'all not gonna need me no more. And y'all watch the basics, y'all really not gonna need the advance, but the advance is just gonna be like some real, you know, some real game shit. So I'm just gonna keep it a buck. But if y'all watch this shit, y'all really not gonna need me after this. This is why I'm giving y'all this information. Cause y'all are not gonna need me when I'm done giving y'all this. Alright, so y'all got that teachability at a 10, y'all coachability at a 10. Y'all gonna learn at such a fast rate that y'all basically it's gonna come easy to y'all. It's gonna come so easy to y'all. Everything gonna start coming easy to y'all. And y'all gonna be able to solve and do things in way less time. Like you can apply this shit to anything you do in life. It's gonna work. So, willing to do the most. You know what I'm saying? I want you to understand that it's okay for you to sacrifice a whole bunch of things to get this. It's okay. But if you sacrifice, you're gonna get the result you want faster than you would if you don't sacrifice. So one thing I want y'all to understand, we're gonna go over when we talk about a loan topic, being alone, which is you have to know what you want, right? Your desire has to be strong, bro. The desire has to be strong. If your desire is not high, you have to figure out what you desire. I'm going to give y'all the information that y'all need to understand what exactly you desire. I'm gonna give it to y'all for the free. I ain't gonna say for the free, but I think it is for the free on YouTube, if I remember correctly. But y'all have to be willing to know what you want, to really sit down and think about what you want. It took me like 2 weeks to sit down and think about what I wanted for my whole life, and I never looked back since. All right, so I want y'all to keep this shit in mind. So you have to be willing to do the most. I hate allergy season. Okay, so I want y'all to understand shit. I want y'all to understand that y'all good enough just the way you are to get what you want out of life. You don't need to be any less or more than what you are right here, right now, in the moment to get what you want out of life. Okay? A lot of times you might feel like you need to learn a bunch of things to get to where to do what you need to do. What I'm telling y'all is after y'all apply this information, you still gonna feel that way. You still gonna feel that way. After you know this information, you still gonna feel that way. After you understand this information, you might still feel that way. Know that you're good enough just the way you are right now to live the life you want to live. You just don't know it yet. Once you learn this information, you will know it. And it won't take y'all a long time. I'm telling y'all, it's probably gonna be like 7 hours worth of information, maybe 8. Once y'all know this information, dog, y'all won't need to be anything less or more. I'm telling y'all really got everything right now. Y'all just don't know. That's why I'm giving y'all this information so y'all can really see how good y'all really are just the way y'all are right now. But it's really all about going down the path of understanding that you will develop yourself through day by day, one day at a time. It's a process. It's a process. If you respect the process respect you. That's why I always tell you, if you respect the game will. Guys don't respect the game. They want to use pickup lines and they want to steal other people's shit. They don't really respect the game. You have to. If you fully respect the game, you will find your own way to do shit. I'm telling y'all. So keep that shit in mind. All right. And understand you are good enough just the way you are to get what you want. imagine being in a plane. Whenever pilots are flying planes, 80% of the time they off the trail. They're not on trail. But because they have a GPS, they always going to end up finding a way to get where they're going. And it's because they have a guide telling them how to move. I'm giving y'all a personal guide showing y'all how to move. Because I'm giving y'all a personal guide, y'all really ain't got to think about nothing for real. Y'all really don't. Y'all just have to follow what I'm telling y'all, and y'all going to get to the destination. But you have to be willing whenever you off that track, whenever you're not following GPS and GPS says you're not going the right way, you have to make those necessary adjustments. Make the adjustments. You're going to fuck up. It's okay if you fuck up. It's okay. But you need to make the necessary adjustments. We're going to go over that when we go over the Alone product, the Alone video, which is going to be like a series in itself. But whenever y'all go over that, I need y'all to understand, with that information, you're going to develop yourself in a way that you know it's okay for you to fuck up. You still are going to be successful as long as you keep going and following the path. Okay? That's all that matters. So, I want y'all to understand that y'all got to know, once y'all know what y'all want, y'all desire is going to be so strong. Y'all still desire should be so strong that no matter what, you still go for it. So think about a craving. Whenever you're craving for something, right, you automatically, want it. You automatically hungry for it. Whatever it is that you want, you know exactly what you want. But whenever you, let's say you go to DoorDash and you can't fulfill that craving, you basically, sometimes you don't even want to eat no more. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, if I can't get that, I don't know what the hell I want. And that's how strong your craving got to be for this. Because once you got this, you're going to know everything. You're going to know everything what you want once you got it. But you have to know why you want it. You have to understand your desire. I'm telling y'all, that shit going to apply. Y'all going to have to understand. That's why I told y'all to write that shit down. Y'all going to use that shit. All the shit I'm telling y'all right now, y'all going to use this shit throughout the whole program. That's why it's so key. And once you're done using this shit, you're going to be at an elite level. I'm telling you. You're going to be at an elite level, and people going to wonder, like, how? How did he do it? Why him? Because you had a strong desire for it. That's all that matters, man. When you have that strong desire, you're going to accomplish what you need to accomplish, man. I promise you. So just be patient, be humble, be disciplined. You're going to accomplish that goal, man. That's all I really got for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. If y'all got any questions, leave it down below, because, hey, man, they got people who asking the same question as you. There are no dumb questions, y'all. There really ain't no dumb questions. Like, I understand it might be seen like it's going to be work, but it's really not work. It's just like, it's very rewarding. It might seem like it's not very rewarding. I mean, it just seems like, I know it seems like it's very, 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 very rewarding, but it's not hard. You just have to do it. And that's what I mean when I say you have to be willing to do this shit. Like, it's not hard, bro. It's not. It's not an extreme challenge. It's just something that you, every day, you have to make an effort. If you're making an effort every day, you will accomplish it. With this thing, this is nothing I can really sell to y'all. I'm gonna be honest, like, there's nothing I can really sell to y'all. For real. When I'm talking about, like, the amount of time it's gonna take, the amount of effort you gotta put in, it's something that y'all have to sell to yourselves. Y'all have to sell to yourselves because it's so tedious. It's so tedious. It's so tedious. Facing fear every day is tedious. There's always gonna be something that you're scared to do. There's always gonna be something that's kind of extreme for you to do, and you still gonna have to do it. And it's gonna be so tedious. But what I'm trying to tell y'all and get y'all to understand fully is that it's worth it. It's worth it, man. Ain't nothing worth more than what I'm showing y'all. Honestly, ain't too much shit really worth more than this, man. And I'm just being honest with y'all through and through. But it is tedious. It really is. It really, really, really is tedious. But it's worth it. So I just want y'all to understand, man, it's a process. Take it one day at a time. And that's just the beginning. We got a whole lot left to discuss. But just remember, man, there's levels to this shit. It's like mathematics. Whenever you learn how to add, you gotta learn how to subtract, you gotta learn how to divide, you gotta learn how to multiply, you gotta learn fractions, you gotta learn algebra, but you couldn't know none of that shit if you ain't never took it one step at a time. And that's all building up to being to an advanced person is. You building up to the information. You building yourself up to the information. So that's all I really got for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. If you did, man, leave a comment down below. Tell me what y'all need questions, help with. And yeah, man, I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all, man. Peace.